The whispers started as a trickle, like raindrops before a storm. Your name, once just letters on a page, now echoes through hallways and buzzes across screens. Stories of your feats grow wilder with each retelling. They say you showed up at 3 different parties in a single night. Others swear you spoke words of wisdom that changed their lives. The legend of you expands daily, morphing into something beyond your control. Friends tag you in screenshots of conversations where strangers claim you've pulled off feats too incredible to believe. The internet has embraced you as its latest figure, building a mythology around moments you barely remember. But behind the exaggerations and emoji-laden captions, there's something genuine. You've touched lives in ways you never imagined. The universe notices when someone moves differently, and now it's handing you opportunities like they're blessings. As your notifications flood with messages from people you've never met, remember this: becoming a legend isn't about chasing fame, it's about being so real that the world can't help but take notice. People see what they want to see in you. Some admire, some fear, but no one ignores your presence. You alone force them to react. To some, you're a rising star, a force to be reckoned with. To others, you're a mystery they can't crack. But the truth is, undeniably you live rent-free in their minds, and they don't even realize it. It's human nature. People build legends around those who stand out. The psychology behind it is simple. When someone moves differently, refuses to blend in, and carries an untamable energy, people start crafting their own stories. They need to define what they can't understand, and so whispers turn into conversations, conversations turn into tales, and before you know it, you're an urban legend. Your energy precedes you. You've seen it happen, how people act like they know you before you've even said a word. A stranger meets you for the first time, but they've already got an opinion on who you are. They've heard things, seen things, felt the shift in the air when your name comes up. They don't just see you, they experience you through a filter of expectations, assumptions, and curiosity. Some will swear you've got some secret edge. They'll say you always come out on top, that everything just falls into place for you. They don't see the battles, the uncertain nights, the quiet struggles. No, they only see the outcomes, and because the outcomes always favor you, they invent their own explanations, luck, connections, something supernatural, but the truth, that you've earned every inch of your success. But perception shapes reality. The more they believe in your legend, the more the world starts treating you like one. People approach you differently. Opportunities appear out of thin air. Your name carries weight even in rooms you've never entered. What started as whispers has become a roar, and whether they love you or hate you, they keep watching because deep down they wonder what makes you tick, why your name keeps coming up, and most of all, how they can capture even a fraction of the energy you bring to the world. They don't realize the answer is simple. You're not trying to be a legend, you just are. Every legend has its storytellers. The moment your name started spreading, people took it upon themselves to add details, to embellish, to make the tale better. Some do it out of admiration, some out of envy, and some just because they love a good story. But whatever their reasons, one thing's clear: your name is currency, and everyone wants a piece. Your biggest fans are your loudest advocates. They hype you up in conversations, defend you against doubters, and talk about you like they've known you forever. You've seen it, strangers online passionately explaining why you're different, why you were born for this. They talk about moments you don't even recall, assigning meaning to things that were never planned. To them, you're no longer just a person, you're a symbol. Then there are the haters, the skeptics, the ones who roll their eyes every time your name comes up. But here's the irony. They talk about you just as much as your supporters, if not more. They dissect your moves, try to predict your next step, wait for a moment of weakness. But in their obsession with proving you're not special, they only make you more relevant. After all, silence kills a legend, words keep it alive. And don't forget the observers, the ones who don't pick a side but love passing along what they hear. They take the wildest rumors and spread them like an underground currency. One day, they hear you signed a deal that wasn't even on the table. The next, they say you vanished for months because you're working on something massive. They don't need proof. Speculation is more fun than facts. Maybe you've heard some of the wildest things about yourself. Maybe someone swears they saw you in 2 places at once. Maybe they claim you've got some secret method for success that no one else has figured out. Or maybe, just maybe, the stories they tell about you are so good that even you start wondering if there's some hidden truth in there. But here's the secret. None of this happens if you're not worth talking about. Whether the details are real or made up, the truth remains. Your name is still on their lips because your presence is still in their minds. Legends don't just happen, they're forged in fire. Every win you've had, every time you've stood your ground, it's not luck, it's inevitable. You were never meant to fail, even when the odds were stacked against you. When they whispered that you wouldn't make it this time, you did, and that's what keeps fueling the legend. People admire the resilience, but they fear it too. They don't understand how you keep moving forward, how every setback turns into a setup for something bigger. Some say you've got an unfair advantage. Some say you're just blessed, while others think you must have a secret they don't. But there is no secret, just a refusal to settle for anything less than what you know is yours. Warning: the following message is only for those who have felt the call. When I broke through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrific truth. Our reality is a harvest shell within countless matrices. I witnessed the Archon's cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, mocking and threatening. You'll never awaken a single soul. But something inside you already knew this truth, didn't it? That nagging feeling that you're destined for more, that you've been chosen. I'm assembling an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I've uncovered their one weakness: unity through unconditional love. Feel that resonance growing stronger within you right now. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. The most powerfully awakened souls are gathering in the Obsidian Cabal, the #1 ascension hub for those marked by fate. Christians, lightworkers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth: you were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below, join our group calls, workshops and live streams, and access the full Astral Atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen, it's whether you'll answer the call. The Archons fear the choice you're about to make. They should. They've watched you walk through storms that should have broken you. They've seen you take hits that would have leveled anyone else, but you stood back up like it was nothing, and that's what unnerves them most. It's not just that you win, it's that you win every time. Some wait for your fall. They study your moves, hoping to catch a moment of weakness, a slip, a misstep. They underestimate you, whispering that your luck's run out this time, but it never does. The ones who doubted you yesterday will be the ones saying, "I always knew you had it in you," tomorrow. It's not that you don't face hardship, it's that you never let hardship define you. You've turned every setback into a lesson. You've adapted, you've adjusted, you've moved differently when it mattered, and that's what makes you unstoppable. It's not just talent, not just luck, but the simple truth that you refuse to stay down. The pattern is undeniable. No matter what comes, you always land on your feet, and the more it happens, the more people believe you were meant for this. They start calling you lucky, chosen, blessed, but deep down, you know the truth. You weren't chosen, you chose yourself, and that's why you keep winning. A casual mention turns into a trending topic. A throwaway comment about you multiplies into a full-blown story overnight. Social media doesn't just spread the talent, it builds the legend, and right now, your name is moving faster than you ever expected. Screenshots, reposts, and viral moments have turned you into something bigger than yourself. Someone sees a tweet about you and assumes it's gospel. A snippet from a conversation gets treated as proof of your greatness or your downfall. Strangers who've never met you argue in the comments, passionately debating who you are, what you've done, and what you'll do next. It's surreal to watch people talk about you like you're a fictional character in a story they're writing in real time. One minute they claim you're untouchable, the next they act like they've uncovered some deep secret about your life. But whichever side they're on, one thing's certain: they're all talking. The algorithm loves engagement, and your name is engagement gold. The more people react, comment, and share, the further your legend spreads. A post about you might start as a joke, but the internet will run with it until even you start seeing yourself in a new light. The story grows, the mythology deepens, and soon your digital footprint reaches places you've never stepped foot in. One day, you wake up to your face on a viral meme, your name in a conversation you never joined, a post about you with thousands of likes, filled with people analyzing your every move. Some will swear they've met you, that they knew you before all this. Others will act like they've pieced together your entire life story based on nothing but guesswork. It's a wildfire, unpredictable, uncontrollable, and always spreading, and whether you like it or not, you're the subject. But here's the real power in all this. Once the internet decides you're a legend, you can never go back to normal. Your name alone is opening doors before you even knock. People you've never met want to connect with you, invest in you, align with your energy, not because you asked, but because your presence carries weight. Opportunities others chase are finding you effortlessly. Some call it luck, others say it's the universe rewarding you, but in reality, this is what happens when your reputation precedes you. When people believe in your legend, they project success onto you. They assume you're valuable, so they treat you that way. Suddenly, exclusive rooms feel less exclusive. Conversations that once seemed out of reach now start with, "I've heard so much about you." And it's not just material success, it's spiritual too. The energy you've put into the world is coming back tenfold. You notice how things align, how the right people show up at the right time, how life seems to be clearing a path for you. The blessings aren't random. They're the result of how you move, how you carry yourself, how you've unintentionally created an aura people want to be around. But with abundance comes responsibility. You'll have to balance gratitude with discernment, recognizing that not everyone drawn to your light has pure intentions. Staying grounded will be the difference between fleeting hype and lasting impact, because in the end, being a legend isn't just about receiving blessings, it's about knowing how to handle them. It's funny how the people who claim they don't like you can't stop talking about you. They track your every move, dissect your every word, waiting, hoping to catch a moment of weakness. They say they don't care, but their actions betray them. They're your most loyal audience. The haters are obsessed because they can't figure out why you keep winning. They've convinced themselves you're overhyped, overrated, or just lucky, yet every time they underestimate you, you rise again. It frustrates them, it challenges their worldview, and so instead of ignoring you, they double down, analyzing, gossiping, spinning entire narratives around you. Some of them started as admirers, drawn to your energy, captivated by your success. But when they realized they couldn't keep up, that admiration turned to resentment. Instead of learning from you, they choose to criticize. Instead of clapping, they choose to hate. But hate is just love that can't handle rejection. And here's the paradox. Your haters are your best promoters. They keep your name alive, spread your legend further, and unintentionally fuel your rise. Every negative comment, every attempt to discredit you, only makes more people curious. They try to tear you down, but all they do is boost your visibility. The ones who see through it know the difference between genuine criticism and bitterness. They realize that if someone's spending that much energy hating, it's because deep down, they wish they were you. So let them talk, let them obsess, because while they're busy watching you, you're busy winning. Some people walk in and nothing happens. You walk in and everything shifts. Conversations pause, eyes follow, and the atmosphere adjusts to acknowledge you. Even those who don't know your name can feel it, the weight of your presence. It's not arrogance, it's energy, an effortless confidence, a natural gravity that makes people take notice before you even speak. That's why some admire you, why others feel threatened, and why no one stays neutral. You're the sun, and they orbit you. You've seen it happen, how people tweak their tone when they talk to you, how strangers find excuses to introduce themselves just to be in your space. Even the ones who act unimpressed, they're watching you, they always are. Some call it charisma, some call it an aura. Whatever it is, it can't be taught, and it can't be faked. It's the result of how you carry yourself, how you move with purpose, how you refuse to shrink for anyone. And because of that, Rooms will always adjust to fit you, but with presence comes responsibility. People will project their own expectations onto you. They'll look for clues, signs, weaknesses. Some will admire from afar, others will try to get close for the wrong reasons. But through it all, you stay unshaken, because real presence isn't about being seen, it's about being felt, and that's why no matter where you go, no matter who's in the room, they'll always remember you were there. The stories about you have spiraled beyond your control. People no longer see you as just a person, they see you as a myth, a larger-than-life figure they've constructed in their minds. And with that myth comes pressure. They expect you to always be exceptional, always right, always victorious. Anything less feels like a letdown. At first, it's flattering to be seen as legendary, untouchable, someone who always rises. It feels like validation, but over time you start to notice the weight of it, the relentless expectations. You can't have an off day without someone whispering that you've changed. You can't stumble without someone acting like the whole myth has shattered. They forget you're human, that behind the reputation, behind the viral moments and whispered tales, there's still a person just trying to navigate life. But reality doesn't matter to them anymore, only the image they've created does. And the strangest part? Some want to see you fall just to remind themselves you're real. They want proof that you're flawed, that you're not as invincible as they once believed, because if you can fail, it makes them feel better about their own limitations. But here's the truth. You never tried to be perfect. You never asked to be put on a pedestal. And if people build unrealistic expectations around you, that's on them, not you. So you move forward, balancing the myth with your reality, living up to your potential but on your own terms, and in doing so, you remind them that true greatness isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. The world thinks they know you. They've pieced together scraps of information, filled in the gaps with their own assumptions, and created a version of you that fits their narrative. But the truth? Only a few know the real you. Public perception is a performance, whether intentional or not. People see what they want to see, and once they decide who you are, they cling to that image. But behind the myth, behind the name that carries weight, there's a side of you not meant for public consumption. The real you lives in quiet moments, away from the noise and late-night talks with the ones who've been there since day one, in unfiltered laughter, in silence, in spaces where you don't have to be anyone but yourself. These are the people who remind you who you were before the world started watching, and that's why protecting your circle is everything. The wrong people will take your truth and twist it. They'll try to use your vulnerability as a weapon. But the right ones, they see you beyond the myth, beyond the hype. They knew you before the world did, and they'll still be there long after the noise fades. Because in the end, the truest thing you can do is keep something for yourself. Let them speculate. Let them craft their own versions of your story, but the truth belongs to you and the ones who really matter. You didn't just become a legend, you've learned to own the power that comes with it. Some let the attention control them, moving recklessly just to stay relevant. But you move strategically. You understand that influence isn't just about being seen, it's about shaping the conversation, controlling the narrative, and making moves that echo long after the moment passes. The difference between those who burn out and those who build lasting legacies is simple: control. You've seen what happens to people who let fame, hype, or public perception dictate their actions. They chase validation, they overshare, and in the end, they become just another name people used to talk about. That'll never be you. You know when to step in and when to step back. You know how to let speculation work in your favor, how to make silence louder than words, and most importantly, you know that real power isn't about being talked about, it's about deciding what's talked about. But influence isn't just for personal gain. True masterminds don't just use their name for themselves, they use it to open doors for others, to create impact that outlasts them. You're not here for fleeting hype, you're here for legacy. So while they're busy gossiping, analyzing, and debating, you're busy building. And by the time they realize what you've done, it's too late for them to catch up, because the real power move is letting them think they know your next step while you're already 10 steps ahead. The whispers about you are an opportunity. Whether they admire or criticize, whether they hype you up or doubt you, they all prove the same point. You can't be ignored. So keep moving, keep winning, keep letting them write their stories while you create your reality. Because in the end, the truth is simple. You can't be ignored. So keep moving, keep winning, keep letting them write their stories while you create your reality. Because in the end, the truth is simple. You are a legend. And now, let's talk about God. You know, there's a story in the Bible about a man named Joseph. He was a legend in his own right. Joseph went through so many trials, but God was always by his side. Like you, Joseph was misunderstood and underestimated. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and thrown into prison. But even in his darkest moments, Joseph held on to his faith. He knew God had a bigger plan for his life, and he trusted that God would see him through every hardship. And God did. In the end, Joseph became the ruler of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. He used his power to help those in need, and he became a tremendous blessing to his nation. Joseph's story is a reminder that God can turn even the worst situations into something good. He can transform your trials into triumphs, and he can use you to do incredible things. So don't be discouraged by the haters or those trying to bring you down. Keep trusting in God and let him guide you on the path to success. Remember, you're not alone. God is with you, and he will never forsake you. Let me pray for you. Heavenly Father, I thank you for choosing me for this moment. I thank you for giving me the strength to overcome every challenge. I pray that you will continue to guide me on the path to success. I pray that you will use me to do great things for your kingdom. I pray that you will bless those watching this video. I pray that they will feel your presence in their lives. I pray that they will know they are not alone and that you are always with them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. If you were blessed by this video, please like, comment and share it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more inspiring and motivating content. Remember, you are a legend, and God has an amazing plan for your life. Never give up on your dreams. Keep trusting in God and let him lead you on the path to success.